Father in heaven, thank you again that we can be here to learn more. Now, this morning we're going to learn about water. I pray that you'll give us strength, help us to understand the things that we learn and how we can apply them. We ask for your Holy Spirit to be with us, to guide us. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. All right, water. How much do you know about water? A lot? A little? Enough? All right, today we'll learn some things about water. So what is water? Water is made up of two elements. You know that. Hydrogen and oxygen. So it comprises of two of these elements. Its chemical formula is H2O. And it's got each molecule of water is made up of two hydrogen atoms with a single bonding of oxygen. Okay, that's water. And I want to tell you some facts about water. Did you know that there is the same amount of water on Earth as there was when the Earth was formed? So not much has changed. And about 71% of the Earth is covered with water. So then why water shortage that we hear of? So nearly 97% of the world's water is salty or not suitable for drinking. So therefore, we have less than 1% of water that is actually drinkable. Think about that. And that's why there's shortages of water. Not that there's not enough water, but to be drinkable. Water regulates the earth temperature. I think you knew that. Okay, just an overview of what water is important for and what it does. It's a nutrient. It's important in building. It acts as a building material, as a solvent, a reaction medium, a reactant. It's a carrier for nutrients into the cells of the body, and also takes out waste products as well. It's a thermoregulator. It's a lubricant and a shock absorber. Going back to water being a building material. When God made Adam, what was he made of? Clay. So the Bible speaks of him being created from the dust. We'll come to that. Water is the source of life. So in Genesis 1, 9 and 10, you hear of the first time thing that water's being mentioned, maybe second time. So going back to Adam's creation, he was made from dust, right? And somebody said clay. Dust and water makes clay. So we are composed of water and dust, and that's what we were formed, how we were formed and made. So, and God said, "Let the waters and the heavens be gathered together in one place, and let the dry land appear." And it was so. God called the dry land earth, and the waters that were gathered together He called seas. And God saw that it was good. So all those facts that we looked about originates right there in the Bible. So you hear right in the Old Testament many instances of the mention of water. So in the days of Noah, the earth was cleansed by water, the worldwide flood. So water, it was used to cleanse the earth from sin. And then you hear of a story of the Israelites as they were coming out of Egypt, passing through water, the Red Sea. So they were saved through the water. And in the New Testament, many accounts of water mentioned. Jesus turns water into wine, one of the first miracles performed. And then you see Jesus walking on water, calming the angry roaring waves, water, a symbol of baptism, and also used as a thing to be drunk by those who will be saved. So the living water, Jesus Christ. We'll have a look at that later. Now look at this. Just as we, how beautiful that picture. That's a snail drinking water. All right. Nature, not just humans, creation is made up of water, sustained by water as well. It's very important. Fact, the amount of water that you drink during the 24-hour period is the same amount that you lose. So it equates. So let's say 2 liters comes in, 2 liters will go out in a 24-hour period. And it comes out in various ways. Through the skin as you sweat, as you exercise and sweat. As we're talking and breathing, we're losing some water there. Not a lot in proportion to... generally, you're told to drink how many cups of water per day? Come on, 8 cups, right? I'll tell you differently in probably a few slides down. What would be more probably a reasonable amount. But here, look, 2 plus 1 is 3 plus 5 is 8, right? Even if we were to drink 8 cups of water a day, we lose about 5 cups through urine and stool, and then through breathing, we lose 1 cup. So if you've drunk 8 cups of a day, water in a day, how much have you lost? 8. So it kind of equals out. So think about how much you drink when you, Did you know 80% of diseases has a correlation to dehydration? So not drinking enough water can lead to 80% of diseases. So what are some of the diseases that I have that could potentially have been caused by prolonged dehydration? Just think about that. Drinking clean water can prevent 80% of diseases. That's significant, something so simple, right? Well, we'll have a look through as we go through. Here's what I referred to earlier. We've always been told that 8 cups of water is enough. But these data from the US National Academy of Science and Engineering, I think from Mayo Clinic, they got this data. About 15.5 cups, that's about 3.7 liters of fluids. They're saying fluids, does not specify water, but close to that. So for men, in about 2.7 liters. So between 2.7 to 3.7 liters per day. I think that's what you've been encouraged to intake as well. That does vary depending on your health conditions as well. Sometimes there are situations in which you might have to monitor your water intake, such as, can anyone think of an example when you wouldn't want to drink too much? Or generally, your doctor will tell you if you've got issues like kidney problems, heart failure, sorry. There we were back on. But in a healthy person, this is the amount of water that we should be consuming, drinking.
Sorry, are you saying that you should drink more when you've got kidney issues and heart?
No, I was saying, so if you've got issues, as in like people with heart failure or kidney problems, sometimes the doctors tell you to drink a certain amount of water. That could be less than the normal. Yeah. But in those cases, you consult your medical professionals, right? But if you have no problems and you're healthy, drink Yeah, that amount as we talked about. So about the percentage of our organs in the body and how much of it is water, or it's made up of water. The brain, about 75%, heart 86%, muscles 75%, blood 94%, bone 22%. So you're talking about the large proportion of our body comprising of water. So if that is the case, would you think then it's important to keep hydrated? The answer is yes. Chronic dehydration, what would that cause? In chronic dehydration, our body will divert. Water usage will be only mainly to the organs that are critical to sustaining life. So other organs such as the peripheries, the skin, arms, legs will not get enough supply. So therefore you start noticing these things, some symptoms, growth of all sorts of things on the skin, hair loss, aging. Why should you drink water? Why should you drink water? Water can prevent DNA damage. Do you know there's research going on in trying to prevent DNA damage? Anti-aging research, looking at how to extend life, not just extending, but to sustain youthfulness. Aging is related to DNA damage. When we age, there's a lot of DNA damage that's occurring. But if you can drink enough water, you can prevent most of that damage. It also enhances the immune system and increases the efficacy in the bone marrow. Water dissolves vitamins and minerals and helps metabolism, digestion and absorption of food. It is a carrier of oxygen to the cells and collects the gas in the body and sends it to the lungs. And it acts as a lubricant between joints and to prevent things such as arthritis and back pain. Now on this point, we can eat the most nutritious meals. Yeah? But if we don't have water, it cannot be carried to the cells. So for us to get benefits, the most benefit from what we eat, we must have also enough water. Yeah? It carries oxygen to the cells. Remember what water was comprised of? Hydrogen and oxygen. So there's another form of oxygen that you can get, not just through breathing. Yeah? The breakdown, the byproduct. Joint pains, lack of water in the long term can cause those issues, and water will help to lubricate those as well. Best thing for bowel movements, it can lubricate that. So if you're having issues with bowel motions, plenty of water, in addition to other things like eating of high foods high in fiber. Water is essential substance in controlling heating and cooling. How would that do it? How would water do it? Evaporation. And how do we do that? Our body through sweating. Yeah. So when in our bodies, heat is generated, and that heat is lost through water. Helps to have a regular sleep rhythm as well. Who wouldn't like a smooth skin? If you drink plenty of water, because it helps with that and slows aging as well. Water dilutes blood and prevents formation of clots. Okay, it will help. So if dehydration will enhance or increase the risk of clotting. with other factors, not just water alone. The lack of water alone, I mean. We looked at that already. Kind of going back. Okay. Water reduces stress and depression. There's a lot of things that are happening, so it might not be direct, but it has that effect. Water maintains and adjusts weight. So just as much as I said earlier, the importance of having enough water in order to carry nutrients into the cells, there's also toxins that need to come out, carried by the water. So if you haven't got enough, you're not taking the right the important nutrients into the cells, but you're also not getting rid of toxins. So that's very important. We'll say that it also increases the efficacy of the immune system to fight infections, even cancer cells as well. So we underestimate the power the use of water has. Perhaps because we didn't know it. We didn't understand how important water is to our health. Because water is literally used to transport all materials within the body. There is movement going on in our body. And without water, that's not possible. And it is directly or indirectly required for the production of hormones in the brain, including melatonin. So when you haven't had enough water for some time, what are some of the symptoms that you might feel? Tiredness, thirst, lethargy. When you're feeling tired, thirsty or lethargy, what should you do? First thing, have you been drinking enough water? Simplest thing to reverse is to keep hydrated. Dizziness, headache, insomnia is lack of sleep, joint pain, irritability, constipation, indigestion, decreased concentration, memory loss. Not saying this is all caused by just purely lack of water. It can have other causes, but not having water can be manifested in these symptoms. Yeah? Some of the conditions that result as because of lack of water: osteoporosis, infections, bacterial or viral, nausea as a result of the severe dehydration, dry eyes, and difficulty regulating body temperature can all result because of lack of water. I used to work shift work, so I ran an emergency, very busy sometimes, no time to go to the toilet or even drink water at all. And when I'm doing night shifts, and generally not sleeping, and 2 days in a row don't drink enough water and don't sleep well, I'm guaranteed to get one of these. Yeah. I come down with some. So, very important. So, I think it's been time to drink water now. So if you've got your bottle, let's put it to practice. Take a sip. Okay. All right.
Does it matter if I drink all my water in one go, and then the whole day maybe I save myself?
Yeah, the question is, does it matter if you drink all your water in one go and you're set for the day?
Yeah.
Yeah, good, very good question. So have you drank a liter of water and within an hour gone to the toilet and it seems like you've just lost the whole liter again? Yeah, that's precisely what happens. So the advice is sip it throughout the day. So yeah, too much water at once will dilute the plasma. It will go out straight. So you don't really get the benefit of drinking all of your daily requirement at one go. So drink it in small throughout the day. Yeah, yeah, not all at once. Yeah, so 1 liter all at once. Yeah, you don't get optimum benefit from that way. What kind of water should you drink, and when should you drink? I think this part is something that I'm not sure if Joe had mentioned to you, but generally when you come, there's a new new habit that you're going to form as to when you drink water, and we'll just talk about that now. Our body needs pure water. That's the kind of water that you should drink. What's pure water? That really depends what access you have. Some people don't have access to pure, clean running water. But there are some things that you can do to purify it as much as possible, right? If you have an access to, you can filter out your water. You can boil your water to purify it. The cleanest water you can, or the purest water you can find, drink that. People with cold hands and feet should always drink warm water. Why? Because cold water puts a strain on the stomach. What's that meaning? Have you noticed sometimes when you're after a big meal, you kind of feel a little bit cold? Kind of all the blood being drawn to the digestive organs, so the extremities are not receiving the blood flow as much. Kind of does the same thing. The energy is being drawn into that area to warm up the water, so you feel your hands and feet feeling cold because the blood's not circulating in there. So warm up your water to decrease that effect. Yeah. So as soon as you wake up, have you been told yet already? In the morning, you brush your teeth and drink some warm water several times until 30 minutes before a meal. 30 minutes before a meal.
So this isn't warm water.
Well, it mustn't be a warm water, but if you have those conditions, like it's just cold arms and feet, yeah, ideally. But if you have no issues and you can drink cold water, that's okay too. But if you are able to, warm water is probably better. Yeah. So yeah, drinking large amount at once can cause sometimes nausea and vomiting or even dizziness. So like just cutting 2 liters down, not advisable. And then, so you're drinking in the morning until 30 minutes before the meal.
How much?
How much should you drink in the morning?
Yeah.
At once?
Yeah, and then go on.
In one go. I think we'll cover that shortly. If I don't come, I'll come to it. So you drink water 3 hours after a meal. So it really, you learn the principle. The principle is you wait until your food is digested. And sometimes it can take up to 3 hours, depending on what you've eaten. But since you're eating fruits that digest quicker, it can be anywhere between 2 to 3 hours, 2.5 hours. So you wait until the food is digested before you drink water. So prior to this, we may have been drinking water with meals. And there's reasons why you shouldn't do that. We'll learn in the next few days why you shouldn't be drinking water with meals. Drinking a glass of water 1 hour before going to bed prevent 30% of heart attacks that you can heart attacks. So take 1 hour before, if you were to drink a glass of water, they can just minimize, if you're already at risk of having heart attack, they can really reduce that. Because I think I mentioned sticky blood and risk of clotting, and that increases risk of heart attack as well. Water has a lot to do with that. About too much water. If you drink too much water at once, it can dilute your plasma. It may also cause edema, which is a swelling. It can increase intracranial pressure in the brain. Even it can cause death. I'm talking about the other extreme. There have been cases of people who have died from consuming too much water. That's possible. But how much water is too much? What does your body need is the question. We've kind of covered earlier what's the recommended amount that you should consume. But yeah, people have, 5-10 liters all at once. Yeah, not healthy. Too much honey, it's not good. So too much of anything, even water. So don't say a liter of or 2 liters, 3 liters is too much, and don't prevent yourself from drinking. But this is just we need to be reasonable in what we do always and balanced. This is just stating just because water is good for you doesn't mean you should just consume 10 liters of water, because there is a consequence to that. Okay. How about when you sweat a lot and when you've exercised and you lose a lot of water? With water also you lose some electrolytes. In that case, you should add a little bit of salt, half a teaspoon of salt in about 500 ml of water, and that will help to replace.
Is that any kind of salt or specific salt?
So, rock salt there, like Himalayan. Not all salts. Not all salts are the same. Some are Celtic salt. Some are depleted of minerals. So choose a salt that has high mineral content. Yeah. If you constantly drink water for 3 weeks in this habit, you will form a new habit. And to help you in that, while you're here, we will remind you and you remind each other. But when you go home, set something to remind you, whether it's an alarm, carry a bottle with you, whatever you do, until this habit is formed, set an alarm or do whatever it takes. What does the council tell us? Inspiration tells us, in health and in sickness, pure water is one of heaven's choicest blessings. How's that? Its proper use promotes health. It is the beverage which God provided to quench the thirst of animals and man. Drunk freely, it helps to supply the necessities of the system and assists nature to resist disease. Nature, our bodies, to resist disease, if we drink in the right amount. That's coming from Councils on Diet and Foods, page 419. Thousands have died for want of pure water and pure air who might have lived. There are thousands of people who have lost their lives just simply because of the lack of water and air, who would otherwise what? Yeah, so what lessons can we take from that? If in their fevered state, water had been given them to drink freely and applications had also been made externally, long days and nights of suffering would have been saved and many precious lives spared. So water can be used internally and externally to relieve of pain and suffering and to restore health as well. This is so just as much as we have to do, and God has a part, so we have a part to cooperate with Him. God does not work alone without human cooperation. So there's nothing that God can do for us unless we cooperate with Him. Is that right? Remember that when you know and appreciate the laws of health He has given us, those who have made up your broken hearts will repair it. So that's just saying God, who had made us, will repair the broken parts of our body, will heal it, if we would cooperate with Him and follow the health principles that we've been given and we'll be learning. So the Maker is the one who heals, and He heals. The healing takes place as we cooperate with Him. And so Jesus said, "Most assuredly I say unto you, unless one is born of water and the Spirit, he cannot enter into the kingdom of God." So life eternal, sorry, lost connection again. To receive the gift of life, we need to be born of water and drink of the water of life as well. Because we're about to end in about one or two slides. In Revelation 22:17, the Spirit and the bride say, "Come." And let him who hears say, "Come." Whoever is thirsty, let him come. And whoever wishes, let him take the free gift of the water of life. Who's that? Jesus Christ. In 1 Corinthians 10:31, whether you eat or drink, whatever you do, do it all for the glory of God. So remember, as we drink our waters, we are to glorify God in our bodies. Yeah? I'll end. Potentially, any questions or any comments that you have?
I have a question.
Yes?
You were saying that a person with kidney problems or kidney diseases shouldn't drink as much water. How then, only because I have a friend who has lost a kidney to cancer, she's got one kidney. So how then do you help the body to heal and to do all what you're telling us there if they can't drink that amount?
Oh, right. Let me clarify. So what I was saying there was a recommendation of how much water you should intake daily. 3.7 liters for men and 2.7 also for women. That's for healthy individuals. But if you're not in that category for whatever reasons, heart failure or kidney problems or lung issues, then you work from where you are at, and too much water can cause a few issues. So in consultation with a medical professional, because they need to be monitoring, your water intake per day might be not as much as a healthy body. Even though you require that, you might have to work with that. Let's say in your friend's case, consume as much as possible until you're able to resolve the cause. Really, I just wanted to bring it to your minds that it's not in every case that we should be consuming that amount of water. If you've got heart failure, let's say, what happens in that, where you start retaining water and you're not getting rid of it with kidney issues, where's the water going to go? It'll end up in your feet, in your lungs, many other parts of the body. So if you keep drinking and it's not going out, now you'll eventually drown in your own. Yeah. So So we need to be reasonable, is what I'm saying. So not everyone is the same. Yeah.
So can I just elaborate?
Yes.
Because this lady has
Yep.
only one kidney. She has diabetes. She has a pacemaker.
Right.
So, and I'm encouraging her because she has a glass of water beside her.
Mm.
She may have one, maybe 2 glasses of water.
Yeah.
You're saying consult with your doctor, but doctors won't talk to you about this kind of thing.
Yes. I mean, that would be a case-by-case thing. We'll have to closely look at her, and maybe we can advise her individually, but that would not be advice for everything. It's just we'll have to look at her case as from where she's at, seeing that she's got complex medical history. But yeah, it doesn't mean she can't intake water. It just means we'll have to see what given what she's got, what would be the best. Yeah. Okay. Anyone else? Anything else? Otherwise we'll close. Thank you. Yes.
So, let's say you have coconut water, not understand your stance on that. Like not the packaged coconut water, like pure coconut water.
Yes.
Right. So if you were to drink 3 liters, but you can drink 1 liter of coconut water, would that count as water or as?
That's a good question. No, it won't count as water.
Sorry?
It won't count as pure water. Remember, what's pure water? Coconut water is good, and I love it. But the body will still have to digest whatever is in coconut water. It's not in its purest form. So I wouldn't replace my water with coconut water indefinitely. Sure, I mean, if you need to for health reasons or whatever purpose, you can replace for, I don't know, a day or whatever, but not replace coconut water for water, things like indefinitely. No. Yeah.
What's the place for herbal teas? Can you count herbal teas for fluid intake?
It's a fluid. So generally, anything that's put into the water would activate the digestion. Yeah. So we've had these questions before. So
So I've always started early morning
Yes.
with a cup of herbal healing tea and all those good things
Yeah.
for you.
So here's the thing. If we're drinking water at the right time, the right amount, we may not need the effect of those herbal teas. You're adding certain things because you want to treat certain conditions. But here I'm saying, if you're doing the right things, just follow these right principles, you do not need those supplements, you don't need the extras.
That's what my question was wondering, where if I want like a glass of juice or coconut water, and then after I've drank my recommended
Yeah.
water, is that okay? Where can I fit that?
That's okay. Here the question was, can you equate? No, you can't.
Can I add more extra drinks on top of the water? Like, when can I have those?
Yes. So as long as you start putting things into the water, now it's no longer water.
Yeah, after you have drunk your
Yes.
recommended water, so
Yes.
you have had your 2 liters.
Yep.
When is there a place? Because you have to.
That's right. There's more lectures coming up on food and water, combinations of food and water, and what in that class. There'll be more details in the coming days. So, good question.
Sorry, just in talking about the drinking other things.
Yes.
I've been to lectures and I've heard lectures from professionals
Yes.
who are saying No, it doesn't have to be just water. You can have orange juice, or you can have tea, or you can have... So it's totally contrary to what you're saying.
Yeah, I went to... I've got a science and nursing background. And I think maybe when I was doing nursing, I had one of the lecturers speak about this topic of fluid intake. It was a female, so she said it didn't matter what you consumed as long as you meet your daily requirement. She even said Coke and coffee. It's all right. So, no, it's not just about fluids. Certain things actually cause you to lose water. Even some teas will make you wee. So you're actually losing more water than you intake. So pure water is preferable. But in this lady's case, she obviously doesn't understand. I don't think she understood what she was saying.
What about lemon water? If you put lemon.
Good question. Why are you having the lemon water? Cleansing? So, yeah. Yeah. All right. Yeah, we'll talk more of these things. We'll talk about this as we go on. But you'll learn that there are a lot of things that we supplement because of the lack of healthy bodies and principles that we follow. You may not even need them. You can have your lemon in your salad. You don't need it in your water. Yeah. Yes.
I've heard that things that cause you to lose water are called diuretics.
Diuretic, that's right.
Tea, I've heard teas, especially green tea, is a diuretic.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
If they promote it as something really healthy to drink.
Yeah. All right.
Looks like it's stuff like a bottle of water.
Turmeric? Yeah. What are you using it for? Like as a treatment?
Every morning, sometimes what you prefer for like infection or any kind of
Yeah. So there are, obviously when we're using, herbal teas or turmeric or any supplements, use it for when you need it. If you are, feeling run down and you've got something coming on and you need a boost, take it. But you shouldn't be on anything for, a long period of time. So if you're deficient in something, take it. But treat the cause and reverse it. And once you've done that, come over it and we fix it we will learn about it. I think we're going too far into the things that we will learn through the...
We probably will learn this later.
Yeah.
I just had a question. But
Yes.
So if you have a watermelon and you blend it and things like that,
Yes.
and you make it into a juice, does
That's-
that activate digestion?
That's food.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. Watermelon is food. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. You'll actually have watermelon for one of the meals here too. So, yeah.
But that's also good to take it as well, like, let's say, is that fluid?
What, watermelon?
Yeah.
Well, the question is,
Like soups,
yeah.
fluid food, or...
Hold on to your questions. We'll answer them as we go through. So I don't want to answer. Yeah, everything. But no, the soup, watermelons, these are classed as food, not as water. So we'll follow the principles. You'll learn pretty soon.
Because I'm like, anyone in this room drinking 3.7 liters of water? Or 2.7?
Oh, well, you'll find out you will be once you're here.
But then what the other fluids that you get into the body?
Which?
Like, let's say,
There's fluids in the food.
food,
Yes.
like you eat fruits, so that will go over 2.7 if you drink that.
Yeah, it's like it's not so specific. So as long as you're getting between 2.5 to 3 liters, then you might have other things in food, fluids in food, or whatever else you're consuming. The idea is to keep hydrated, not just purely to think about the numbers. The numbers are there to tell us how much actually you require, because we don't, the average, But we need to keep hydrated is the message there. Yeah. Okay?
I just want to ask about fasting juice.
Yes.
Yes.
Juice fasting?
Yeah.
Juice fasting. Hold your question for one of the sessions coming up. Okay?
Another lady asking if you can't make it 2.7. Is that okay?
Yeah. That's just an average that they. Yeah. But it also depends on your body weight and, for females, 2 liters and up, And what do? Are you losing water as well? Remember what I said earlier, if you're consuming something that causes you to lose water, and how much water do you actually need as well? So the type of water that you drink and when you drink, it also matters. Yep. Thank you. God bless you. I don't know what we'll be doing now, but